welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger, and with me, as always, is Trevor Scott.
Hello. Yes, I am here.
Hello. Yes, what are we doing this week, Trevor?
We're going to go back to some classic click pitch. It worked well last week with our, Leonardo Decapitate trio and the Spider Cell game and all that sort of stuff. So
That's some good stuff. Yeah. Let's do it. All right, 3, 2, 1, click.
Body.
Demon.
Okay, I like that.
There's never been a game about a demon, I don't think, with demons in it.
In a body. I kind of like the idea of you've got to do things to stop the demon from, taking over.
Okay. I do like, I do like potentially losing control over parts of your body. Actually, now I'm picturing almost a Octodad kind of situation, in a sense where at different parts of the level you just won't have control over your left arm or whatever, and you have to prevent it from getting close. If you get close to a knife, it's just gonna fucking grab it and stab you in the head.
It's a couch co-op, 4 players, and whoever's in control of the body is doing whatever, and everyone else is trying to do little mini games and stuff to gain control of the body so that they can.
Okay. Yeah.
So that they can do more, get more points for their god or whatever, and it's sort of
okay. So they're competing demons. It's a asymmetrical kind of thing where one person is
there's one body, but
the body,
4 people
person
who are trying to control it.
So as in 3 demons and the original owner of the body.
Well, I'm even saying
four demons.
Four demons.
All vying for control. Okay. I do like it that it's almost a territorial thing where you might get control of both legs. And as long as you're able to fight off your opponents from getting back the legs, maybe it doesn't matter if they've got control of the arms because you've got the locomotion. You can get to your church or whatever the hell you're trying to do, or get to whatever sacrifice you have to. Actually, I kind of like that you have to sacrifice different things, or that you have different goals of making this body kill something, destroy something, build something, get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And this is good because I'm picturing someone's got control of the leg, so they're just all right, fucking book it. But then the person who's got the left arm grabs onto something and they're nah, fuck that. I am not letting go. But then
someone who's got control of the other arm gets an axe and just chops off the other arm.
Yes, very Evil Dead-esque as well. And then you can do something to grow back an arm, to grow back a limb, but you can definitely chop off limbs yourself. Okay, that's really cool. I think that could be really fun. So what happens if you have control of one leg and somebody else has control of the other leg? What is the sort of the movement like?
It's just quap. You can sort of snake it.
Well, I was wondering, is it that you are controlling each leg individually so that if you do have both control, maybe you can just alternate the triggers or something and you will walk?
Yeah.
Essentially, you pull the trigger to move a leg forward.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone else has control and they're not moving, you're just going to turn in circles. But, that might help you. You turn in circles to reach something, chop off that leg, and now suddenly you can hop in the direction you need to go.
Yeah.
until they grow it back.
There are different things that you can do, mini-game wise, that, you can be hitting buttons with maybe the D-pad that is to sort of Simon Says It. And if you're getting a good combo going, then you can, use some of those powers to sort of
I wonder if
take over.
I wonder if there are better mini games, because I almost feel like they should be the mini games should be competitive. That whoever has control of it now, you're fighting against them, and they have to do something to defend against you to keep control of it. And obviously that's taking concentration away from what they're doing in the world with the control they currently have. But also it might be that if they had control of the left leg and the left arm, they might be fighting a war on two fronts to try to defend that from two different people trying to get control. So, yeah, I wonder if there's something there where maybe you just have to, like, maybe it's almost a rhythm thing where you have to just match. I mean, again, as Simon says-ish, but it's coming from the other person in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see a few different things that you can do. Like, maybe all you can do is focus on one limb at a time, and you're basically vying for control of that limb. And then if you manage to get high enough points in that, then you can maybe switch over to the next one.
I mean, you could go all out, and you could almost have in the corner of the screen where there is some sort of battle going on, whether it's like a freaking like 2D fighter or like you actually have to win a game of Street Fighter against them, basically. But if you've got two of those going at one time, like, yeah, you can switch back and forth between them to go, okay, I need to fight off this guy. Okay, I need to fight them off a bit. But you're obviously going to be distracted. It's going to be a lot harder to do.
And meanwhile, Green has taken control of the whole body, and they're just booking it to the church to sacrifice their hero.
But Yellow's taking control of the head and is just screaming to try to get the police to come and stop them or something, like trying to get people to step in.
I love it.
That's really cool. Obviously the minigame thing, I think that would be a key thing, because you'd want to find something where you do have to give it some level of attention, but you can switch away from it for a few moments and still, you'll probably lose a bit of momentum or something, or a bit of your lead, but you could theoretically like fight off both at once, or at least for long enough to do whatever it is you were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's fun. All right, cool.
Like it.
Let's leave it there, though. 3, 2, 1, click.
Okay. East.
Sequencer.
Okay.
So that could be like DNA sequencing, or it could be a gameplay mechanic of like putting things in sequence. Maybe cardinal directions. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, cardinal directions does kind of make sense, but
is it a giving directions game? Like you have to kind of know the city well enough, and then someone will come and say, hey, I'm looking for the McDonald's. And you have to give verbal directions. You have to be like, okay, second left, turn right, and then you get scored based on where they end up.
Can they see the McDonald's from where you sent them? Yes, then that's good enough.
Yeah, you get a few points.
It's like reverse GeoGuessr.
You could do it. You could do it with Google Maps. It's like, where do you live? Okay, we'll generate a world around your town.
Yep.
Procedurally build up some of the buildings, and then you can wander around, and people will come and ask you for directions.
Yeah.
How do you explain the 5 ways to them?
I mean, that's literally, take the second exit.
Yeah, that's it. The bad thing is going to be, do you have to do it in a way that Google Maps, like, directional thing will be able to match up, be able to decide if you got it right or not.
Go straight through that one, take a right. I'm saying from our side of it, like you go straight through the first one, you take a right, and then you go straight through, and that's on Hull Road. Like, or take a left. Just so weird. Like, if listeners at home, check out like 5 ways in Mirrorbark. It's 3 roundabouts in a row. It is insane, and we love it because it's so easy.
Awesome.
It's so easy to drive through. Like once you know what you're doing.
Once you know what you're doing, traffic mostly just flows. It can back up a little bit at peak time, but not too much. So
no.
The local gem.
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, click.
Yep.
Overshoot.
postmaster.
Okay.
Okay, I don't like the word shoot and postal. Like
No. I'm not thinking of that. I'm thinking about like catapulting mail or something.
Yeah.
Like delivering mail through some method of propulsion.
Yeah.
That you have the ability to overshoot.
I mean, when we went to PAX, we were playing a game, Kiwi, which is sort of about doing mail and that sort of stuff within a post office. We kind of know that can be kind of fun.
Yeah.
What if you had to automate mail sorting through some sort of aerial acrobatic sort of things that, like, shooting packages across, like, okay, red packages go into this chute, green packages go over here.
I've long liked the idea of an automation game that has like
physics.
a lot of physics, a lot of shooting things through the air, sending them down tubes, moving. Obviously there will be conveyors as well, but moving away from conveyors as the main method of transporting things, and more propulsion,
more catapults,
more like rivers of water,
you just
flowing
get
water.
inflatable rafts that go down and drop it off.
So are you thinking of this within like the sense of a building, or are you thinking
I think a massive warehouse. I think a massive warehouse.
So like warehouse sort of thing, that I like that, and I want it to end up that you end up with a Rube Goldberg-esque thing in a way, but efficient. Like an efficient. When I say Rube Goldberg, I mean I want to see stuff coming in from the top, going down tubes, landing on a conveyor, going along, getting on a catapult, launching across to the other side of the warehouse, catching in a funnel, but working well. Yeah.
So my thought is, you start off the game and you've got like, I'm kind of thinking of it similar to remember the game where you had to like do all the flight plans and get all the things. All the planes
onto the
So in this massive 3D warehouse, you get given an entrance point and an exit point for like the red packages.
Yep.
And you set that up however you decide to set it up.
Yep.
That is now for this run. That is the permanent way that red is going to go. You cannot change it again.
Okay. So it's less
now
about
it's like green comes in and it's like, okay, it crosses over here. So where can I cross that over? And the further that you go through the game, like you get to the end of it, it's like, okay, this is the crazy run and this is the crazy shit that's going on with this.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's less about building your perfect, most efficient thing with all the tools you have and like rebuilding things to be more efficient when stuff comes up. It's
you've
about
got a
being
time
stuck
limit
with your,
and you've got to get this done now. And
okay, I like that because it simulates my everyday job where technical debt will come to bite you in the ass.
Yep.
So I think then what you can do though is it's not just okay, I've built this one tube for red things to go down and then the yellow one has to like cycle around that or do different things. If you want, you can join the yellow up to that and red and yellow will be going down together, but at some point you have to detect and split them again. And so that sort of gives you a bit more flexibility, but then you can also fuck yourself with that because, oh shit, now that I've got this extra requirement, I actually need to split red out sooner because I can't have yellow going in that same direction or whatever it is. And so you will just end up with this crazy connections between all these different things that work, but how do they work? No one knows anymore.
By the time you get to the end, it's like, oh, what was the timing for red? Is a package going to launch now? No. Okay, cool. I can fit that in. I can fit yellow in.
Yeah.
In this.
That's it. I actually like that a lot for an automation thing. I think that's actually kind of a new twist where it really is more about puzzle solving based on your previous mistakes almost, or just your previous assumptions or decisions. Yeah, I like that.
And I like the idea that later on levels can actually be, okay, now we're implementing this in this warehouse, and it's got like only one little like window at the top that you can pass packages through.
Yeah.
And you just got to time it out that, you catapult it through that window, and it's like, okay, now you got to be able to capture that and be able to split again. And, it's all about time limited puzzles. Like
Well, I definitely like the idea as well that, you do want a bit of a reset, because you don't want them having to deal with their mistakes from the very early game all the way through. No. But I feel like as you move from warehouse room to warehouse room, it's based on how you finished the previous one, is like the timing or whatever that it comes into this one. You might get them, you might just get this random pile of letters flying through. And you're like, why is it coming 2 greens and then a yellow and then 3 blues and then another yellow before it repeats? And then you're like, oh fuck, that's because of that previous level where that ended up being the only way I could solve it.
I really, really want to see this game. I think just...
How are you picturing it then? Because there's a couple of things here that... So a couple of things that I like is... I feel like you shouldn't be able to see at all times what type of package or letter is going through a tube, like directly. Like, it's not where you can just see them lying on a conveyor belt, but you've got like little indicators and things. So it might be that it's like, you may even have to install them yourself. It's like, I need to know what's going through this pipe because I can't remember, like, there's multiple things going in at the top. So you put an indicator on it and it's just flashing. It's like yellow, red, red, yellow, red, 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 blue, red, red. Like, it's telling you what's going through it at that point. So you're looking at that and go, okay, I know where's that going? Right. It's going to come out there. And so there are moments where obviously it's open and you can see them, but I feel like almost as more of a constraint as well is, and maybe what you can do though is you can hook up like a permanent dashboard or something up to that.
Yeah.
When you install one of these things, you can like drag it onto your dashboard and give it a name or something. And so it's like, okay, now I can see the timing for that. And I want to put one over here as well. And it's almost like debugging then, right? Like, you're always trying to real time debug what's going on through the system.
I think that is much later on levels. Early levels is just one entrance for a red, one entrance for a green, one entrance for a yellow, and they've got
for
one
sure.
exit.
It'd have to build up, yeah.
You make them kind of, you twister it up. It's the right hand blue, yellow, left hand yellow thing where you just make sure that, oh, yes, red went right down the middle, and it was so easy to get it there that we did something stupid just to get it working. Mm-hmm. And now we've got to deal with, green has to cross over and be scanned into this point, and then hit this for stamping, and then and then go to the exit. So it's like, okay, it's got 3 stops.
Yeah, well, particularly if you've just got different ways that you can choose to transport it, and if you make certain decisions, then it only leaves room for those other methods. Mm-hmm. And like, maybe one of those methods literally ends up being they go into a mail cart and a dude walks it across the factory floor around all this shit that you've built to another spot and puts it back into a machine, because that's like the only way you had to go through. And if you didn't leave room for him because you just conveyor belted along the ground, well, you now have to build a bridge that is long like enough for him to be able to push the cart up and then down on the other side. Yeah, exactly. Or some sort of mail lift or like whatever.
Or if you really want to fuck him over, catapult. You can catapult him across, and you're just going to have a good net to capture him.
You may lose some mail. Make sure it doesn't go over the threshold. Yeah, I love that. That's cool.
Okay, that was really, really cool. 3, 2, 1, click.
Yeah. Ministry.
Argument.
Okay. I don't want to go into politics. No, I feel like that's boring. Or just frustrating. Is it about the band ministry?
No, what if... I mean, yes, you could actually go politics, but as long as it was the Ministry of Arguments. So
Oh, the Ministry of Arguments. Okay.
Yeah. So if there are any arguments, this is the place that you come to, and they help, arbitrate any arguments, or they're the ones who provide the arguments to the positives and the negatives.
They're like, here's the arguments you're allowed to have.
Yes,
and these are the banned arguments. And
yep.
Okay, I feel like this is maybe becoming more of a world building aspect then, rather than the gameplay itself.
Yeah.
Is this a world where there is this Ministry of Arguments, and if they sort of, it's a 1984-esque, they're cracking down on speech. Mm-hmm. You cannot discuss or argue. Well, no, you can discuss. It's only that you can't get heated.
You can argue all you want as long as you are using the Ministry approved talking points.
Yes. So who
should water be green? Well, according to the Ministry of Arguments, yes, it should, because green is a natural colour and blue is not. You never see blue in nature, but you see green all the time. So green is obviously the cleaner colour.
That's it. You never see blue in nature, not since we darkened the skies and demolished all the blueberries. So who would be the hero who comes out against this oppressive ministry? Are they someone from the debate team? Are they a writer? Are they, I don't know, someone you wouldn't expect to be good at do they argue their way sort of out of this situation?
I'm not sure. Haven't decided that yet. Well,
you need to improvise something, Trevor. That's
I know.
The whole
name of the
thing.
Game. Like, I can't think of who would be doing this.
No.
His name is Ben Slinger.
Yeah,
and
perfect for that.
He's got long hair.
Good improvising.
And some headphones. You just turn off your camera so I can't be looking at you.
All right, I think we're flailing on this one. I think it's because we got into politics. But yeah, 3, 2, 1, click.
Welcoming
Valet.
Okay, yes.
Goes well together.
A valet game.
Yeah, I feel like we've done something with a Valet game before, but there's definitely some more meat on those bones.
Yes. Is it that you play a valet in like a 3D environment?
Yeah.
You get the cars come in, and you get points based on how much you drive those cars around, like joyriding.
Oh, I see.
But if you crash the car at all, then you're going to lose points because they're going to know that you joyrided, and you might lose your job.
Yeah, that is one way to go. I was. Here's where I went, and we can. This is not a yes and. This isn't. Yeah, but maybe. Because I had a thought of what if it's like a fantasy valet where everybody has different mounts.
Yep.
And there are limitations to which types of creatures can be parked next to each other.
You don't want to park a sheep next to a dragon.
Exactly, right?
Because that sheep is going to Chowtown. Like, it'll kill that dragon really quickly. Because as we all know, dragons are allergic to sheep.
Yeah, and the sheep take a good advantage of that and slowly devour them.
Yes, it turns out that dragons are severely allergic to wool.
Yeah.
Which is why you don't wear wool suits.
That shit can be itchy. Like, gets in under their scales.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
they
exactly.
Sneeze, and their head explodes because of the build-up of pressure of the smoke and stuff. Yeah. And then they get devoured. Yeah. It's just gruesome.
You got to watch out for unicorns. They can be, skittish and do a lot of damage. You need to make sure to give them the right food because if they start farting those rainbows,
Oh,
Those things are...
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
And if we let those fat unicorns in, also known as rhinoceroses, they try to go to town on the unicorns because...
Well, that's it. You got to be very careful about which unicorns / rhinoceroses you put next to each other because they will go to Pound Town.
Yeah. And you'll end up with rhinocorns.
Unicorns are horny fuckers.
And uniceroses. In fact, the whole thing is just don't put,
It's just don't let the mounts fuck each other. Don't let the mounts mount. Yeah.
Don't let them mount. That's the name of the game. Do not let them mount.
Do not let them mount. I kind of like it where, like, you screw up in one level and then someone comes back with that particular hybrid, like, a couple of levels later. It's like, well, you fucking did it to yourself, man. This was your fault.
You've now got to deal with the Dragacorn.
That's it. That's the worst of all because they really like to eat sheep. These ones actually like to eat sheep, but they're still allergic to them. And then they fart. Rainbows and fire.
Sulfur.
Flaming rainbows.
Flaming rainbows.
There's a band name for you.
Okay, let's go one more and then let's call it a night.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, caught.
Jabbing.
Ooh, jabbing and caught.
COURT or CAUGHT?
COURT.
Okay.
So I'm thinking...
Like a tennis court?
Yeah, like a tennis court.
Like sporting...
Yeah.
Some sort of court.
And jabbing. What
sport could jabbing...
come from? Boxing. Okay, so
you're on a boxing court.
Boxing and tennis. Okay, it's basically down ball.
But you have to punch... You punch the ball...
out of the air.
back over the net.
Yep. Okay.
I like the idea of combining some sports here. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Boxing
to make
boxing
it more
and
fair,
some sort of ball sport.
It's a beach ball. So it's nice and big and you can...
Yeah. Yeah. So is it tennis rules?
Effectively, yeah.
And you can choose to, like, jab, hook, uppercut.
Yeah.
Which is essentially like your lob, your slice, your forehand.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's it. That's the whole game. That's all it is. It's just different animations for tennis and a bigger ball. No. Is this like a VR thing maybe? Or is this a traditional, traditional route?
Traditional.
Play it straight.
Back in like the early 2000s, EA Sports did release a like boxing game. I think it was 2004
Fight Night?
or something like that. Yeah, it could have been Fight Night. Yeah, and that had some pretty cool like feel to it. Like you had a lot of weight behind the ball and all this, but behind the punches. The idea of being able to sort of have that third person gameplay and sort of getting close as the ball is bouncing down and you just punch it through.
Whack.
There's something about it that
what I'm curious is how much do we take from each game? So I think you're right. I think like the sort of third person behind the boxer sort of view, but then you're on what is essentially a tennis court.
Yeah.
Is the feel of it more like tennis or more like boxing? Like, is there sort of...
Well, I think that's why you want the beach ball, because the beach ball is slower moving.
Yeah.
But you can't let it bounce twice. It's a...
No, of course. So there's running involved.
Yeah, there's running involved, and then you've got to be able to, like... You may actually have to do a low blow just to sort of... launch it up into the air so that it, sort of can continue. Do we allow kicks? Suppose that's the question.
It's more like UFC style.
Yeah, I think you're allowed to kick it if it's too low. Like you cannot get to it. Like you can sort of flick it up to then, punch it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So-
maybe you've just got one kick. Yeah, you can kick it once to essentially place it.
To place it up for you to,
Yeah.
to basically punch it.
Yeah.
But the idea is that if you kick it and it goes over and lands down on the ground without hitting your fist,
Yeah, no, that's illegal.
that's illegal.
It's a fault, yeah. Do we score it by tennis rules or by knockouts?
I think it's tennis rules.
Yeah.
But you do automatically win the rubber, which is the end of like the set or whatever. Mm-hmm. If you do get a knockout, or you do get a technical knockout, which is 3 in any one set.
Right. Yeah. So, and knockout is assumed just by like hitting them with the ball with enough velocity, or
Enough velocity, and then basically,
and they miss it.
well, they get knocked to the ground. Like if they get knocked to the ground, then and it'll happen a lot more often when they're volleying. When they're sort of up here, and you just
It's like speedball, with speedball just back and forth volleying. Yeah, it's whoever gets the timing off.
So if you punch it through and they kind of block it and it launches up and you follow through and smash them in the face, that's allowed.
That's legal, okay.
That's
Over the
legal
net, you can
because you've hit the ball first with the same punch.
Oh, so follow through is allowed.
Yes.
You can't just attack them,
No.
but if it's from follow through, that's technically allowed, okay.
Yes.
Bit sneaky.
Because they deflected the ball. Technically, your punch was just following the ball.
It was a legal move. Yeah, if I hit the ball like this and you happen to get in the way,
Exactly.
it's your own fault.
It's your own fault. And if I happen to be kicking like this, and you get in the way, and then I punch the ball down,
Yeah.
that's
If
your
I'm biting like this, I'm just going to move my mouth like this.
pie. If I move my mouth like this, he just hits his head on the range.
All right, well, we're going to leave it there on that Simpsons reference. If you'd like to find us online and listen to any more of our episodes, even just one more, just listen to one more. See if you like that one too.
Yeah.
You can go to podchaser.com/bitstorm and they're all there.
Yeah. If you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, that song is called Mad Defiance off of the album Containment Failure. I listened to it the other day on queerus.bandcamp.com. No, just Mad Defiance. And you know what? I forgot that there was a whole other part before we do the...
Oh, yeah. It's not the start of the song.
Yeah.
We used to play a song in the middle, too. Do you remember? We used to have the Eye of the Storm.
Yes, used to have Eye of the Storm back when we thought, we're going to have ads.
Well, we just put all our plugs there for a while, but it became too much of a pain, particularly with guests on.
Yeah, and we had to keep on repeating because that part of the song doesn't go for very long. So
No.
maybe Ben will remember to put it in somewhere in this.
He'll put an Eye of the Storm in. I'm sure I've still got that section that we used to use.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
And I'm going postal, by which I mean organising
Post
office
through the air. Yeah.